In honor of the big Lightfall reveal on Tuesday, I thought it'd be fun to go back and look at every appearance of the pyramid ships in Destiny. I'll be going in chronological order of appearance, though this video will not cover the various mentions of the pyramid ships found in the lore books, only things we've directly seen. Without further ado, let's touch up on every appearance of these infamous ships, though their story doesn't begin where you might think. First, let me begin with a quick explanation of what these ships actually are for anyone who may not know. The pyramid ships, otherwise known as the Black Fleet, are essentially the might of the darkness. They seem to be controlled by the Witness, who, while not literally the darkness, can be viewed in a similar vein as the Traveler is to the light. The ships vary in size. Some are only about the size of our Guardian ships. These are known as splinters. Others are massive. While we don't yet have a specific size, this Reddit post estimates at least one pyramid to be about 28 kilometers long, which is a little over 17 miles in length. This is the largest one we know of, though a potential mothership could be much larger. These ships have captivated players due to their ominous nature and promise of a final showdown between the light and dark. So yeah, these ships are kind of a big deal. With that out of the way, let's get into appearance number 1. To my knowledge, the first appearance of these ships dates back to way before Destiny 1's release, with this image. Some of you have probably seen it before. This is early concept art for the enemy races in Destiny. The first one seems to be the Vex, followed by the Fallen. You can tell because this ship looks very similar to one from the House of Wolves expansion. Next we have the Cabal, Hive, and this. A smoky yellow race with pyramids looming over them. Now, I'd venture a bet that this became the Taken, later introduced in the Taken King expansion. However, clearly the pyramids are something that Bungie has had in the back of their minds for a very long time. Here's some other concept art for what could have been other enemies in Destiny 1. Whether they're related to this darkness race, who knows? But I still think it's really interesting. Our first in-game sighting of the pyramids occurs all the way at the beginning of Destiny 2's first campaign, the Red War. So I realized just after recording this that I missed not one, but 3 pyramid appearances in the making of this video. The first one is actually right here. When you first open up Destiny, you'll be greeted with an artistic cutscene, basically explaining the game to new players. Here, as the ghost mentions an ancient enemy, you see the shadow of a pyramid creeping over the Traveler, depicting the first collapse. After your Guardian gets wrecked by Gaul, we're treated to this artistic cutscene foreseeing future events. One of the first things we see are triangular monoliths falling into the water above us. If you ask me, this is clearly a reference to what you would see just after completing this campaign. Upon completing the Red War campaign, the Traveler would break free from its cage, sending out a wave of light across the system. This light passes many planets and locations, however, the last thing we see is way outside our galaxy. A seemingly desolate void in space is suddenly woken up, and for the first time we hear that iconic musical cue. Notice how the pyramids literally turn to face the direction of the Traveler and Earth. They waste absolutely no time gearing into attack mode. Here's some of the first official concept art we saw from Bungie following Destiny 2's release. You know, the more I rewatch this, the more I realize how scary this is just on a cosmic level. These dark monoliths in space just shifting their gaze towards Earth. After this, Bungie would basically not mention the pyramids in any meaningful way for 2 years until the release of Shadowkeep. The Shadowkeep campaign finally started to lift the veil on the Black Fleet. See what I did there? It's revealed that a pyramid ship has been lying dormant under the moon's surface for, well, we don't know how long. How it got there, I don't know, but I really want to learn more about this pyramid specifically. Why was it abandoned? Why is it embedded in the moon? Was it left there on purpose? Who knows? During the Shadowkeep DLC, you were actually brought inside this pyramid, which is the first time we've ever been in one. There you would receive an artifact and your ghost would temporarily get taken over by the darkness to talk to you. The final cutscene in Shadowkeep shows 2 versions of the player character in the Black Garden. One is not actually the player and is simply the darkness taking on their form. In the background, you can see a fleet of pyramids hovering motionless in the sky. After this, we jump to Season of the Worthy of all things, where we helped Rasputin shoot down the Almighty by reactivating his missile bunkers around the system. If you watch some screens in his bunkers, you would start to notice triangular icons encroaching upon the system over the weeks. This would culminate in a cutscene where Rasputin shows Zavala that the pyramids are here and they're closing in fast, already reclaiming certain territories in the solar system. Here's the next one I missed. At the end of Season of the Worthy, we were given a cutscene. This cutscene showed Jupiter, and just at the very end, you can see a pyramid start to creep out of the shadow of Jupiter. The next season was then named Season of Arrivals, and this is where the Pyramid Saga really kicked into full swing. As the name suggests, the Black Fleet was now here and impossible to ignore. The last cutscene I missed is at the beginning of Season of Arrivals. This cutscene shows a pyramid getting really close to Io, and then is followed by a sequence where Anna Bray and Rasputin attempt to shoot down a pyramid that is getting close to Mars. This of course doesn't work, and Rasputin is then taken out of commission by this pyramid. Upon loading in on week 1, a large pyramid was dominating the skybox of the moon Io. This pyramid would also send splinters scouting the surface of the moon, which led to our first ever contact with these ships through a public event. Over the weeks, the pyramids would show themselves on Mars, Titan, and Mercury, solidifying their grasp over the system. The season ended with a live event where the Traveler healed itself. This led to an apocalyptic cutscene where the darkness was shown overrunning the 4 planets that the pyramids had parked over. I honestly love this cutscene. I thought it was a great way to get people hyped for Beyond Light, and I don't know, I like it when catastrophic events are depicted through seemingly simple or ominous visuals. I feel like it adds to the veil of intrigue. Anyway, the following day, Beyond Light released, which saw us dropping feet first onto Europa and directly communing with the pyramid present there. This, of course, led us to acquire our first ever darkness abilities in Stasis.
The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
The first new element ever added to Destiny. Beyond Light is really when you can start to see the pieces being put in place for Lightfall and the final shape. Finally, we have the Witch Queen, which saw us visiting Savathun's throne world. Here, we found a sunken and captured pyramid ship lying in the swamp. Upon raiding the pyramid, we found and killed Ralk, the first disciple of the Witness. The Witness, of course, appeared for the first time in the final cutscene of the Witch Queen. We don't exactly know where this is, but it seems safe to bet that it may be on the mothership. The Witness then reveals its fleet and essentially declares war upon the Guardians and the Traveler.
The game.
Before I end the video, here are some miscellaneous facts about the pyramids that I thought were cool. As far as we know, these ships are essentially indestructible. My Name is Bife has a great video on this that I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. In the Vow of the Disciple raid, there is a prophecy on the wall that was pieced together by the community and reads as follows: Hive scorn, love darkness, worship witness. Pyramid fleet enter earth, stop guardian. Witness commune traveler, drink light. Witness kill blank. That last symbol has never appeared for any raid team and thus remains a mystery. If you ask me, I think that last symbol would be something representing the being within the Traveler, if there is one. I think if the last symbol was Traveler, they would have just put it there, and honestly, saying kill the Traveler just doesn't really sound right when you consider the Traveler itself may not be a living thing, rather housing a living thing. But again, that's not confirmed, that's just my own speculation. Finally, there is a lore book that details the Drifter stumbling across an ice planet that inhabits strange creatures he's never seen before. These creatures have the ability to suppress light and could be connected in some way to the darkness. However, at this time, it isn't actually known if there is a pyramid or darkness race. It's sort of accepted at this point that the ships themselves are the threat, not some new enemy race inside of them. Kind of like Nope. But who knows, we'll have a much better idea of where the story is going on August 23rd. If you're watching this before then feel free to stop by on Tuesday, as we'll be streaming the whole thing right here on the channel. If you like this video, then a like is greatly appreciated and helps out a whole lot. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. I post fun Destiny related content on a regular basis. Also, I can't not mention the absolute bombshell that Redrix dropped on our stream the other day, gifting 150 channel memberships to the good folks in chat. This was absolutely insane. Feel free to go check out the stream for our reactions to that, and a huge thanks again to Redrix. Regardless, thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.